In an earlier video, I explained that one of the greatest misconceptions about mindfulness meditation, a misunderstanding that's one of the main reasons why so many people quit and never develop the benefits of their practice, is this idea that you're doing it wrong if you can't still your mind. And I promised that I'd show you what to do with all these thoughts racing through your mind in a future video. Well, that's what this video is all about. How to work with thoughts while meditating. Now, the most important thing to keep in mind when working with thoughts is that, well, thoughts are just thoughts. They're just mental events. They're not you, and they're not some kind of unquestionable truth. In fact, a lot of the time, they may seem totally random. So treat thoughts as what they are, just mental objects that can be observed. And when you observe thoughts in this way, you'll notice that they have two parts to them, a payload and a delivery mechanism. Now, the payload is the content of the thought. It could be a memory that you're rehashing, an argument that you're planning to have, the details of the thing that you're worrying about or obsessing over, and so on. Now, while meditating, you need to be very careful with the payload. You want to avoid getting sucked into the content of your thoughts, because once you do, you're no longer objectively observing them. Instead, you're totally identified with them and lost in them. So for this reason, if you're a beginner, my advice would be to completely ignore the content of your thoughts while meditating. Now, the delivery mechanism, that's the form the thought takes in your mind. Is it verbal? Is it a picture? Is it like a movie playing in your head, or a kinesthetic sensation, or some combination? Paying attention to the delivery mechanism of the thoughts in your mind helps you to observe them without getting so captivated by their content. So, if you're a beginner at this, your focus is just noticing the thoughts. When you become aware of a thought while meditating, you mentally label it as thinking and then go back to your breath or whatever the focus of your meditation was before you notice the thought. As a beginner, you're developing the ability to be aware of thoughts while not getting lost in their content. So don't be concerned with what kind of thought it is or what it's about. Now, once you can notice thoughts pretty easily without getting sucked into their content, you can observe them in more detail and can categorize them by their content or their delivery mechanism or both. So for example, when you notice a thought about planning a future argument, well, you can mentally label it as planning or planning argument. And if you notice that the thought was verbal, you can mentally label it as talking. And if the thought was a bunch of mental images, well, you can mentally label it as images and so on. I think you get the idea. That's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it and learned some useful strategies for working with thoughts. Next week, I'm going to show you how to handle thoughts that have a heavy emotional charge, which can make it really tough to just observe them as mental objects. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss it. I'm Nick Grabovac, and thanks so much for watching.